June is audiobook month.
Mr. Cheesy Pop!
Hey everyone, it's Max, and as you guys know, I do a lot of audiobooks, so I thought it would be fun, since June is audiobook month, to read a little passage from a book and show you how I change my voice up doing audiobooks and just what it's like to actually read a book out loud doing an audiobook. And I've teamed up with The League and the Lantern, which is a great kids book, and I do lots of young adult and middle grade audiobooks. And so thanks League and the Lantern for sponsoring this video, and stay tuned because you can actually win a copy of The League and the Lantern. All you have to do is tweet, "Hey, at @MaxwellGlick, I want to win The League and the Lantern. Great new adventure book." I've made it really easy for you guys. All you gotta do is copy and paste the text below in the description and just tweet it out at me. Super easy, that's how you enter. And right now, I'm gonna read a bit from the book to show you guys what it's like as I change up my voice, doing different characters, and yeah, I hope you guys like it. So, here we go. So, before I read, let me set this first scene up. So, new 7th graders, Jake, Lucy, and TJ are trying to solve a clue on an overnight scavenger hunt at the Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago. But the problem is their cell phones have been locked up by one of their teachers. So, here we go. TJ looked around, realizing that Lucy was gone. "Hey, where's the Nicaragua girl?" "Nepal," Jake said. "What?" "Nepal," Jake repeated. "She said she just moved back from Nepal." Jake turned to see Lucy on the other side of the room, jiggling the handle off the staff-only footlocker. "If I can get my mobile back, we can Google the clues," Lucy said. Jake lost his train of thought. He wasn't sure if it was because of the way she pronounced mobile, or because he was just now seeing her up close. She was a little taller than Jake, though not so much as to make him feel short. But her eyes, they were the most intense green eyes he had ever seen. She twisted a paper clip and jammed it into the lock. "What the what?" TJ stood up. "Not sure what a mobile is, but I'm pretty sure there's an official lockdown on those cell phones. I don't know how they roll in Nigeria, but I'm not looking to add breaking and entering to my college application." "Nepal," Lucy corrected. "Right. Well, ixnay on the breaking and entering, Miss Nepal," said TJ. "Lucy," she said, standing up and turning back to the boys. "Hmm?" asked TJ. "My name is Lucy. Use my name and I'll use yours. Or would you prefer Captain What's-His-Name?" TJ appeared to be losing his breath. "Captain What's-His-Name?" "The little cartoon on your shirt." "Really? Little cartoon?" TJ looked to Jake, who grimaced uncomfortably. "It's America? Captain America? Like the land of the free, home of the brave, the first Avenger? Need I go on?" "So, TJ it is," said Lucy, tossing the paper clip into the trash can. "That's not going to work. It's a double pin lock. I could open it, but I'd need to break it." So there you go, guys. There's a little section, and there were 3 characters in there, and there's a slight variation in the voice. We're dealing with, kids that are like 13, and so for the girl, pitch my voice up a little bit, and a slight variation with the 2 guy characters. So now I'm going to read another section that is a bit more narrative. So the setup for this is Jake splits off from the other kids to look for a clue, and is in the coal mine exhibit beneath the museum when an explosion slams him to the floor. There we go. There's dark, and then there's cave dark. The kind of dark you only get when there's absolutely no light. The kind of dark you can feel. Jake choked through the swirling dust and rose to his knees. He held one hand in front of his face. He couldn't even see his wiggling fingers. Cave dark. He tried to stand, but fell back to the floor. his ears still ringing from the explosion as he wiped dirt from his eyes and spit dust out of his mouth. Had the explosion knocked out all the power, or just down in the mine? What had caused the explosion? Would there be more? Not wanting to wait to find out, he stumbled to his feet and fumbled his way to the wall. He could feel the cool, damp air and hear the water trickling further ahead. This is totally manageable. Just scoot my feet slowly along the wall and I won't fall onto the tracks. He shuffled for about 10 minutes before reaching what he hoped was the way back through the tunnel. His hunch was confirmed as he felt the stone wall become damp, then slick with water. Jake moved more quickly as the narrow passage began to expand, though everything was still pitch black. Jake thought his eyes would have adjusted by now, but without even a hint of light, it didn't matter. He finally came to an opening. He let go of the wall and took a careful step. If his memory was correct, he should... Oomph! The table's edge painfully confirmed his hunch. He was in the demonstration room and headed in the right direction. He leaned against the table. Why was he breathing so hard? Stay calm, be positive. Slowly, his breathing returned to normal. What was that? He'd thought he heard someone. No, not exactly heard, more like felt. He could feel the room's air moving slowly across his neck, as if someone else, or something else, was breathing. He stood completely still. Nothing. Maybe cave dark makes you cave crazy? He eased his hands along the tabletop. He had an idea. His fingers finally landed on a small box the size of a matchbox. Exactly the size of a matchbox. Because it was a matchbox. Yes, now the lamp. He swept his hands across the tabletop. He felt the cold metal of the lantern just before he knocked it off the table. The sound of the shattering glass echoed off the stone walls. So now we have a good news, bad news situation. Good news, I found the lamp. Bad news, I smashed it into tiny pieces and now I'm going to die a slow, painful death in the dark. Jake slowly searched through the broken glass with his foot. On one swipe, he managed to kick the base of the lamp. He leaned down and gingerly picked through the pieces. The glass was definitely toast, and the top was dented, but the rest seemed to be intact. Slowly, carefully, Jake pulled a match out of the box. He fumbled for the right end before striking the match against the side. There was a scraping noise, followed by the match snapping in two. Not even a spark. He tried again, and again. Same result. He had one match left. Use the Force, Luke. Use the Force, he quietly mouthed to himself. He carefully dragged the last match along the side of the box. First, there was the unmistakably crisp sound of a flame sparking to life as a burst of light filled the chamber. This was immediately followed by a boot flashing from the shadows and slamming into Jake's forehead, sending him crashing back to the floor. The ancient lamp clanged along the stone floor, casting a flickering shadow onto Jake, as a dark figure hovered over his crumpled body. Whoa. Woo! Well, what happens next? Oh, man. That's actually really cool. So there you go, guys. That is a little example of what it's like to read a book in audiobook style when you've got to do characters out loud and you've got to do a long passage like that out loud. Whew! It's not as easy as it looks, right? So what did you guys think of that? Was it interesting for you to watch me read a book out loud like that? Did my face do weird things? I bet it did. It's gotta, because you're acting, you know? Reading a book is actually acting. So you guys enter the contest to win the League in the Lantern. The information's below. You just gotta copy and paste it in a tweet, and you can win. The contest will run till July 15th, and then I will announce the winner. And also, if you're ever interested in hearing me do audiobooks, you can look me up on audible.com and you can find the listing of like all the audiobooks I've done. There's quite a lot. So if you want any recommendations from me, maybe I could do another video about that one day, or you could just ask below, what I like the best. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget, enter the contest, like, subscribe, and have a magical day, everybody. Bye. Mr. Cheesy Pop.